We are back, and we are playing more Strategema. Today, I'm going to be popping into a private lobby with my friend and see how much I can clap, and I'm a little washed. So this is a post commentary, meaning that I've already played the game, so I'm just gonna do that. So here you can see me struggling to find the plastic pump. Pretty funny. But my mindset when going into this round was that it was going to be a clean sweep. I was going to rush machinery, do a quick little rush. And that was my initial plan. And maybe test out the new settler unit to get like some production closer to my enemy. So I'm just exploring the map. We're playing on the Australia preset, one of the maps that comes there. And I did not know the plastic pump locations, and I found one. So once when I found it, I was like, I'm gonna divert my plans. I'm gonna get marketplace, and then do like marketplace into a machinery rush. So instantly you can see I've made a bunch of mistakes. So for starters, I did not build a research facility at the very beginning of the game, so I'm just bleeding research right now. See, and then I finally realized that, oh wait, I need to build a research facility. So I get around to do that, and yeah. So just exploring the map and getting that research, since before you can rush, you want a decent source, like 2 cities, 10 farms, and ideally like 2 plastic pumps. So I was shooting for 10 farms, 3 plastic pumps in a marketplace, since that would give me a good economy, and then I would be able to have a constant, rush. So my movement is off, it's not clean, and yeah, I finally get around to building the research center just now, and it's kind of funny. So I built some barracks just because I'm overflowing on plastic, since 2 plastic pumps. This is very efficient. This is basically notes of what not to do, but as I get back into it, you'll be seeing some more higher quality videos of me actually being good instead of whatever this abomination is. Well, I see their base, see what they're up to, and just trying to micro my unit, find all the plastic pumps before my enemy does. Then yeah, finally getting up research this late. So that's a lot of time that a lot of research that I bleeded that I could have had. Like, we're 4 minutes in and I haven't even started. So always make sure when you start out, get that plastic pump, get those 5 farms, and then build that research facility ASAP before doing anything else, because otherwise your economy is just going to be slow, and if my opponent was good, they would punish me at this point. So then I'm going to set up my second city, the classic, where I preach, get 2 cities, 10 farms, before even considering rushing your opponent, just because otherwise you'll have a lack of food, and the imbalance makes it that food is a lot more important in rushing than plastic. So you can set up like infinite plastic pumps, however the food is going to be your bottleneck. So if there are a lot of plastic pumps, like if you know the map, if it's a pre-made custom map, there has to be at least 6 plastic pumps on the map, if I recall correctly, meaning that marketplace is a lot better on these custom maps versus a procedural generated map like in a 1v1 or a 1v1v1, right? Like, since in a procedural map you have to stick all 6 of the plastic pumps down for where all enemies can spawn, meaning that there will always be 6 in the map, versus in a procedural there will generally be 1 plastic pump for each player. There has to be +1. So in a 2-player game in a procedural map, there'd be 3 plastic pumps, since there's 2 players, so 1 for each, and then there's 1 neutral one, right? So in procedural maps, I'll go more into this in a separate video, but you wanna basically, if you do want to rush, I would recommend getting marketplace first. So I researched marketplace. It's about to go sky high, and we're about to start the pressure, and 2 cities, getting those universities down, and then at this point, I have the ability to rush, but I decide to try out the new settler unit, since the settler very nice that they added it to the game. Finally allows you to like split up and have like FOBs, forward operating bases, to spawn units closer to your opponents. It's nice, but it also makes movement speed like less important of a stat. So sorry for like the sorry to vehicle lovers, you kind of got indirectly nerfed. But yeah, so just chilling, finishing out the discovery of the map, really waiting for that research, and then I got machinery, and at this point, I'm just waiting for my settler to get into position. And an important thing about the settler is that they move very slow. They're also quite fragile. So if you have a scout and you see your opponent build a settler, it's like basically essential that you intercept it, since they're not cheap and they're not cheap to build, right? And then once when you do build a settler, as you probably know, you can click on the settler, the village that sets up, and then click develop city. So you don't actually build a city right next to it. You click develop city on the settler. You can see me struggling with that. But yeah, basically, um, if this game were to go longer and my opponent was a little better, they would be punishing me right now due to my inefficiencies. However, the opponent that I'm playing against is also washed, kind of balances each other out. And then yeah, so once when that city comes up, we can build barracks, the factory, and then it'll just be a massacre from there. And this is a problem with a lot of like a lot of the games that I see played. Like, people just aren't aggressive. By minute 8, if you're playing efficiently, you should probably have a barracks out and start pressuring your opponents, like barracks and factory up. But it's minute 12, and neither of us really have or are trying to punish each other. So I would say a good rule of thumb is, you know, 2 cities before you start attacking, and like building like barracks and stuff. But once when you get those 2 cities, which you can probably get them up by 5 minutes, you should definitely be pressuring. So here, just gonna get a good amount. They nerfed the bazookas a little bit, but you still want them just in case your opponent has manufacturing, which my opponent does in this game. So I think that's three bazookas, and then a bunch of soldiers, a couple of flamethrowers, since I personally prefer flamethrowers for shredding buildings over artillery, since artillery is nice. However, flamethrowers, I just feel are faster and they take less unit spaces, and they're not weak to bazookas, which is a big thing. Then I also spanned some APCs, since APCs are quite strong against like just soldiers in general. So if my opponent was smart here, they would just build up a bazooka army and destroy all the vehicles, and then I'd be kind of screwed, but they did not. And I crush all their units, destroy their barracks. That's a big thing. When you are attacking with your flamethrowers, positioning your units near the enemy, like barracks and enemy fortresses, or basically enemy buildings that can create units, right? And that's the big thing, because once when you get them down, then they have to rebuild, and it's a lot. So my opponent just has Seer because they don't really have a chance. I just had I destroyed their barracks and their factory, so they couldn't build anything. And then yeah, so that's how you win a game quite easily. There are going to be more videos coming in the future, and a maps tutorial, so stay tuned.